Decide who comes in and who stays out. All in one easy-to-use app.
Tomorrow, the four-time Pro Bowl safety and the leader of the Steel Curtain.
I think great leaders create great leaders.
Pittsburgh's Minka Fitzpatrick is turning his field into a house of worship. Plus, Kristen and Keith Getty.
The initial idea, why do we have this song and how will it be used?
Writing hymns for the modern day.
How can we follow in the footsteps of those great hymns?
Tomorrow.
The MSU Lifelong Learning Center has exciting news. We have officially moved to our brand new home at the Wichita Falls Museum of Art at MSU, Texas. More space, easier parking, and a fall schedule you will love. Find out more information by going to our website.
Capture the memories of your loved one with a beautiful custom-made monument from Riley Gardner Memorials. You can be assured of the highest quality granite and craftsmanship in each memorial we create. Let Riley Gardner Memorials preserve the memories for your loved one.
Mike's Towing Service has been providing professional towing and recovery services since 1995. Their towing professionals are experts in light to heavy-duty towing. For exceptional 24-hour emergency towing services and roadside assistance at a fair price, choose Mike's Towing.
Luxury Bath is your tub-to-shower conversion leader with thousands of satisfied customers. Our To The Studs guarantee means a problem-free bathroom in 2 days or less. Locally owned and operated, we understand the value of community. Luxury Bath. Elevate your home. Elevate your life.
Adding new custom window treatments from Budget Blinds is a great way to spruce up your home or office.
We make the process easy with our free on-site consultations and exclusive no questions asked warranties.
From blind shutters or shades, we help you find the perfect product for your windows.
So give us a call today.
The MSU Lifelong Learning Center has exciting news. We have officially moved to our brand new home at the Wichita Falls Museum of Art at MSU, Texas. More space, easier parking, and a fall schedule you will love. Find out more information by going to our website.
I'm Sarah at Kayvon Jewelers. Come see our selection of new men's wedding bands.
From your local news authority, local, in-depth, community. KFDX, named TV Station of the Year by the Texas Association of Broadcasters.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Emily Faith.
And I'm Jalen Wells.
Well, early this morning, Shepherd Air Force Base hosted a 9/11 remembrance ceremony. Shepherd firefighters, airmen, and other service members all took part in the special event to reflect on the terror attacks that happened 23 years ago.
Prayers were said, speeches of hope were given, and a bell rang in honor of the 343 firefighters who lost their lives at the World Trade Center that tragic day. Samantha McCafferty, a lieutenant driver operator at Shepherd, was in 7th grade when 9/11 happened and says it's the reason she wanted to be a firefighter and military service member.
She had the honor of ringing the bell at the ceremony and said it was an emotional experience that reminded her of the brave legacy those first responders left behind.
It's a little intimidating. It's very emotional for me to know that we lost 343 firefighters that day and first responders. It was, just overwhelming feel of it. And so when you have that kind of pressure on you, you feel like you're going to mess up. But at the same time, you know that they're looking down on you and watching you go.
The ceremony happened in front of a piece of rubble from the Twin Towers, which was recovered from the wreckage and brought to Shepherd by a team of firefighters.
Now, this morning's ceremony wasn't the only event held in honor of 9/11 on base today. The 364th Training Squadron of the Cable and Antenna School at Shepherd conducted their annual memorial climb.
Members of the squadron, often called cable dogs, climbed and rappelled off the tall towers and telephone poles with the goal of climbing to the collective height of the Twin Towers, which is 2,703 feet. 20 people were assigned to climb up and down 20-foot telephone poles, while 10 climbed to the top of a 105-foot tower until they reached their goal.
Staff Sergeant Jeremy Castalvo says being able to take an everyday training exercise and give it meaning by honoring 9/11 is always an important reminder for everyone.
I would say the importance of it is just spreading awareness and the remembrance of it, just making people aware and showing that we care, that it was really a tragedy that of what happened and that we haven't forgotten about it.
Well, as the nation commemorates the 23rd anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, the 9/11 Memorial and Museum allowed the country to come together and reflect.
The names of the fallen were read aloud at Ground Zero, as they are every year. President Joe Biden, along with Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, were all in attendance just hours after they faced off in Philadelphia.
Beth Hillman is the president of the 9/11 Memorial and Museum and says this year part of her mission is reaching a generation of young people who need to learn about 9/11, as more than 100 million Americans were born after 2001 or were too young to remember the tragic day.
We hope people will set aside divisions and fractiousness and come together, recognize the unity, the compassion, and the courage that characterized the aftermath of 9/11.
That is so true. That actually applies to me and you. I'm too young to remember. I think you weren't even born
I
yet.
wasn't even born. I was
Wow.
I was a 2002 baby, so it's always been something that has been very important to not just me but my entire family. So
Absolutely. Well, Hillman adds that never forget also means making sure a new generation understands. As the complex legacy of 9/11 continues to evolve, communities around the country have developed remembrance traditions that range from laying wreaths to displaying flags, from marches to police radio messages.
volunteer projects also mark the anniversary, which Congress has titled both Patriot Day and a National Day of Service and Remembrance. In another news, following last night's debate between Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump, both sides are spinning the face-off as a win for their team.
Washington correspondent Trevor Shirley is in D.C. with more.
Republicans say Vice President Harris failed to give many policy specifics during last night's debate, while Democrats say former President Trump showed he's not fit for a second term. After a quick, cordial handshake, the barbs began to fly.
He is more interested in defending himself than he is in looking out for you.
She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist.
What we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess.
She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run.
For an hour and a half, both candidates went back and forth on topics including abortion, the economy, and immigration, with each claiming success after leaving the stage.
This was my best debate. I thought it was very good.
We have a lot of work to do, okay? And tonight, I think, highlighted for the American people what's at stake.
At times, Harris dodged several questions, including a direct inquiry about whether Americans are better off now than under the Trump presidency.
Most importantly, she can't talk about her record. She has been the vice president for 3.5 years.
But the former president often struggled to stay on message, missing several chances to hit Harris's record.
Anyone who's undecided can see the difference here. We've got a person who is presidential in Kamala Harris. She has made a convincing case that we need a new way forward.
The Harris campaign says it's ready for a second debate, while former President Trump says he's not sure if there will actually be a second face-off. Reporting in Washington, I'm Trevor Shirley.
All right, now back here at Tex Home, let's check in with meteorologist Noah Trombley for a look at our weather forecast, because, Emily, I noticed things are warming up. I'm not a fan.
They are. Yeah, I'm just hoping we don't hit the triple digits again. I'm hoping to stay below that.
Noah, are our wishes coming true?
Some of the area could see triple digits as we head into the weekend, but it won't be around for long. It might be for a day or two as we head throughout this weekend. Looking at satellite and radar, of course, to the southeast there, just hitting Louisiana and New Orleans right now. You do see Hurricane Francine, the eye, just about to make landfall here in probably the next 2 to 3 hours there in the southern portion of Louisiana. You also see closer to our area, we could get a few small showers off of that storm, but I'm not going with a high chance right now. It's about less than a 10% chance for anything anyone in the east to see any rainfall with this hurricane. Current temperature right now, Wichita Falls, 86 degrees. Dallas, Fort Worth, 77. Houston at 80. Austin there at 84 degrees. We are 4 degrees warmer than we were 24 hours ago, along with Oklahoma City and Midland. Dallas, Fort Worth is 2 degrees cooler than they were 24 hours ago. So a sunshine-filled week ahead of us with a warm-up coming as we head into the weekend. And, of course, we'll have a check-in on Hurricane Francine. I'll get your full forecast coming in just a few minutes, guys.
All right, no, I didn't want to hear about a warm-up, but thank you for that report. Now, WFISD board members are once again discouraged, but determined to take action on low performance results in the last STAR test.
The board received a briefing and presentation on the 2023-24 results yesterday. There were some encouraging aspects in higher grade levels, but overall test results were not encouraging.
Like in much of the state, they were flat with little improvement. And Superintendent Dr. Donnie Lee says it's not good news, saying a systematic change across the district is needed. Board President Catherine McGregor echoed that assessment, saying a whole new mindset is required. Dr. Lee said work will begin immediately to assess the problem and ways to improve, with a plan to be in place by November for implementation in December.
Also in yesterday's session, the board agreed to vote Monday on putting the old Lamar Elementary building up for sale. Dr. Lee informed the board that under state law, the building must first be offered for sale to the Premier Charter High School before being put up for general bids. Also, $925,000 of new playground equipment will be purchased to replace unsafe and aging equipment in 9 schools.
And Texas could soon make its own textbooks available to elementary schools across the state that contain lessons about the Bible.
The State Board of Education held its last meeting yesterday to collect the public's input before members vote on that proposed elementary school curriculum. More than 100 signed up to speak.
Now, supporters argue these lessons highlight a fundamental part of the state's history, while critics slammed it as unconstitutional because it would favor one religion over another.
When we're teaching what our founders believed, that's not enforcing a religion on anyone. It's teaching this nation, the very nation people live in.
Teaching about the influence of religion and history and culture is an important part of a well-rounded education. But you can't turn public schools into Sunday schools.
Okay.
The final vote on this curriculum will happen in November. If it's approved, school districts could receive up to $60 per student from the state to use it. And now coming up a little bit later, Larry David is extending his comedy tour, and Shailene Woodley will be starring as a legendary singer in a new biopic. That's all in today's entertainment report. Plus, with everything hunting, fishing, or farming you could need under one roof, you will want to be at the Impact this weekend. We'll tell you all about that right after Noah knows the weather forecast with meteorologist Noah Trombley. Stay with us.
Find your new best friend and clear the shelters. From the stories you should know to the stories you need to know. Inside Edition.
These are the stories that impact your life.
Weekdays at 12:30 on KFDX